Dear Ubisoft, we hope this letter finds you well, or at least better than the absolute disaster that was your 2024. Though, let's be honest, that's not really that high of a bar to clear. I mean, at this point, even EA is looking over and saying, yikes! I mean, let's start with Skull and Bones, the game you spent over a decade hyping as the first ever quadruple A title. After all those delays, you delivered a game that was so hollow and uninspired that the only real challenge was convincing players that it still wasn't in beta. I mean, if you're going to claim you've created an entirely new tier of gaming, maybe try offering something more than repetitive fetch quest and combat that feels like it was designed in 2013. And then there's Star Wars Outlaws. I mean, Ubisoft. You had one of the most iconic franchises in history handed to you on a silver platter, and somehow you managed to fuck it up. I mean, let's just start with the main character, an androgynous, watered-down knockoff of Han Solo with none of the charm, wit, or presence that made the original icon an icon.
I love you.
I know.
Couple that with all the graphical glitches and frame rate issues that couldn't keep up during cutscenes, and you had players begging for refunds for a Star Wars game. This was supposed to be your time to shine, and instead, Outlaws went rogue in all the wrong ways. And we can't forget Assassin's Creed Shadows. I mean, we were promised intrigue, stealth, and a return to the franchise's roots. Instead, we got a delay to 2025, a controversy drenched in forced ideology, and marketing spin so thick it could be served as frosting. Ubisoft, your flagship franchise is supposed to be your lifeboat, not the anchor dragging you down. And now let's talk about your Call of Duty killer Oh no. But you want to know what the real kicker of all this is? Your stubborn refusal to admit that your obsession with ideological posturing is alienating the very audience that kept you afloat for years. Gamers want great stories, engaging gameplay, and worlds they can lose themselves in, not sermons. You've doubled down on your vision even as your stock plummets, your games flop, and your reputation sinks faster than a ship in Skull and Bones. Here's a reality check. The gaming community isn't the problem. You are. Your inability to connect with what gamers actually want has turned your brand into a punchline. Ditch the quadruple A nonsense, get back to the basics, and maybe, just maybe, you can salvage what's left of your reputation. Until then, we'll be over here playing games from companies that actually want to listen to their audience. Sincerely, Craig.